Hi all, in this video, let's learn about how to load assets like CSS fonts, images, style sheets, and JavaScripts with Preload and Prefetch, which will help us a lot in improving the web performance. So to start with Preload. So firstly, we want to discuss the link tag. So usually we use link tag only to load the CSS files. But here we are using the link tag to load the style sheets, scripts, and images as well. So how it is possible means we are using link tag and with REL preload. If you're using this link tag with this attribute, this link tag will turn into it can load any of the resources. So we are making this link tag to accept any of the resources to be loaded with this rel tag. So now if you mention rel preload, what does it exactly mean? We are asking java browser, we are instructing the browser to load these resources on high priority. So whenever the browser sees this tag preload, then it will give high priority to this resources and it will load. It will load faster than other resources. So here you will be having this preload, and also you will be having an as attribute. So this is not mandatory, but it is recommended to use so that the browser can have better decisions. So that if two resources with the same preload, and if you mention style, and it can take this as high priority than this, so browser can take more better decisions on on how to give high priorities. So that's the reason you need to use this as attribute as well. So when to use this preload and when to use this prefetch. And coming to the prefetch is like when you mention prefetch, the browser will load these resources when the browser has some idle time. It means when the browser is free, then it will load this prefetch resources. It means we are giving the low priority to these resources. When to use this preload, when to use this prefetches. Preload should be used in the initial load. Whenever you feel that this resource is mandatory at the initial load, then you need to mention this preload tag. So then the browser will give high priority to load them because we are using these resources in the initial load. Whereas prefetch, when to use this is you need to use these resources wherever the browser is ideal, and if you want to these resources in the later point of time in the future, like if you want to click on any of the navigation links like about us, contact us, you'll be getting another page regarding the about us and contact us links. So these are the navigation links which you will be using in the future purpose. So the resources which you are using in these links can be loaded when the browser is idle. So that's the reason use this prefetch only if you want to use the CSS or any of the uh, resources when the navigation is in near future. It means it's not urgent or it is not important to load at the initial phase. Because if you use all these directly in the first page load, there would be nearly 50 to 60 resources to be loaded in the initial load, which will take more time. So that's the reason we are making this as prefetch, and browser will give less priority and so that it can download whenever it has its ideal time. So that's the usage of this prefetch. And the preload, we have discussed the use cases of the preload as well. So let's see now with the example. So also there are n number of success stories with the preload. So like a Shopify, GitHub, Amazon, Netflix, all these big websites are using this preload and prefetch to improve their time to interact and fast contentful paint. So because of this, they are trying to improve their user experience and the business as well. So if you get any chance, or it is highly recommended to use this preload whenever you get any chance. So let's see that in the browser. So in the browser, if you see and if you open any of the website, and if you do this, so it will load all the resources like this. The browser will load all the resources. If you want to check the priority on which basics it is loading the resources, go to the developer tools in the network tab. You will be getting all these columns. There won't be any priority column at first. So you need to click on any of the column here and you need to enable the priority column here. So you will get the priority column here. So I will sort this priority column. So this is the priority column by which the browser has taken these files as priority and it has loaded them on priority. So highest high, medium, low, lowest. This would be the priority given by the browser. So based upon our instructions, browser would be low, taking that resources as high priority and it would be loading. So that's the reason if you see we have given this as a preload context. So it was loaded with the highest priority. So this is all about preload and prefetch. So there is one more important point. If you're not using any of the preload content, for example, you have mentioned preload to this content, and if you're not using this resource in the initial load, it means you are wasting the resource, giving high priority to some resource. And if you're not using that in the initial load, then the browser has a good capability of warning us. It will say that you're not using this resource in the first initial interaction of the page. It will warn us in the console saying that you're not using this preload property properly. If you don't want to use this preload property in the initial resources, please remove that preload. So it would be giving a warning such that here in the console as well. So that's a good feature we have. So that's it about this preload and prefetch. Try to use them in your real-time applications and projects so that the web performance would be improved a lot. So that's all for the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos.